President Trump has targeted state AI regulations in a move that's left experts and lawmakers scrambling for answers. What exactly does this mean for the future of artificial intelligence, and how will it impact the tech industry as a whole? Join me on World of AI as we delve into the regulatory review of President Trump's decision to target state AI regulations. Welcome back to World of AI. Today, we are focusing on a significant development in the world of artificial intelligence. President Trump has announced his intention to target state AI regulations, sending shockwaves throughout the tech industry. But what exactly are these regulations, and why are they so important? To understand this announcement, let's take a step back and examine the current landscape of AI regulation in the US. Prior to President Trump's decision, individual states were beginning to take matters into their own hands by implementing their own regulations on AI development and deployment. This includes California's Assembly Bill 1516, which aims to establish guidelines for AI fairness and transparency. The idea behind these state-specific regulations was to provide a framework for responsible AI development, addressing concerns around bias, accountability, and job displacement. However, with President Trump's announcement, it appears that the federal government is now taking a more hands-off approach, leaving many to wonder what this means for the future of AI regulation in the US. President Trump has long been an advocate for deregulation and reducing bureaucratic red tape. In targeting state AI regulations, he's essentially giving states the green light to continue developing their own guidelines, rather than imposing a unified federal framework. But experts warn that this could lead to chaos and confusion as companies navigate multiple regulatory regimes across different states. So what exactly did President Trump announce? In a statement released last week, the White House declared its intention to target state AI regulations through the introduction of new legislation. This move is seen as a response to growing concerns over federal overreach and an effort to streamline regulatory processes. According to sources close to the matter, this legislation would establish clear guidelines for federal agencies on how to regulate AI, effectively preempting state-specific regulations. This could mean that companies no longer need to comply with multiple sets of regulations across different states, but instead adhere to a single set of federal standards. However, critics argue that this move may actually exacerbate existing problems. By reducing the role of state-specific regulations, there's a risk that critical issues around AI fairness and transparency could be glossed over or ignored at the federal level. One area where President Trump's decision is likely to have significant implications is in the development of autonomous vehicles. Currently, states like California and Arizona are taking proactive steps to regulate AVs, but under a unified federal framework, companies may feel more pressure to prioritize standardization over innovation. So what does this mean for the tech industry as a whole? In the short term, it's likely that companies will continue to navigate state-specific regulations while keeping an eye on any forthcoming federal guidelines. However, in the long term, President Trump's decision could have far-reaching implications. Experts predict that a unified federal framework could lead to increased competition and innovation within the AI sector. By reducing regulatory burdens, companies may feel more confident investing in new technologies and partnerships. However, critics warn that this move could also exacerbate existing inequalities around access to resources and talent. Moreover, as AI technology becomes increasingly integrated into critical infrastructure systems like healthcare and finance, there are growing concerns over the potential risks associated with reduced oversight. In targeting state AI regulations, President Trump may be inadvertently creating an environment where companies prioritize profits over public safety. As we continue to navigate this complex landscape of AI regulation, one thing is clear: change is on the horizon. With the federal government's new stance, it will be up to individual states and companies to adapt to a shifting regulatory landscape. In conclusion, President Trump's decision to target state AI regulations has significant implications for the tech industry as a whole. As we continue to follow this story, keep in mind that there are three key takeaways. Firstly, the federal government is taking a more hands-off approach to regulating AI development and deployment. Secondly, companies will need to navigate multiple regulatory regimes across different states until any forthcoming federal guidelines come into effect. Thirdly, with increased competition and innovation potentially on the horizon, we can expect significant changes in the way that companies invest in new technologies and partnerships. Subscribe to World of AI so you never miss the latest AI news. Don't forget to like and comment below, your feedback is invaluable. And if you're interested in learning more about the intersection of politics and technology, be sure to check out our upcoming video on the EU's AI ethics guidelines.